Are they a shell game? Is it nothing more than funny math? Is it nothing more than just good marketing? Let's talk about the fuel assistance programs offered now by UberEats, GrubHub, and most recently DoorDash on this segment of the Gig Geezer. It is a rainy, nasty, overcast Wednesday afternoon here in the Columbia Market, South Carolina. And obviously, with my glasses off, I'm not driving, so I just finished another hustle. But throughout this hustle, I got to thinking about these numbers. With these fuel assistance programs being offered by, so far now, GrubHub, Uber Eats, and most recently, DoorDash. So here we go. There were four numbers that caught my attention with DoorDash and got me really thinking. The first number was 25.4. The next number was $1.27. The next number was $1.45. And the next number was $1.69. Why would those numbers capture my attention as opposed to 5, 10, and 15? Keep listening. Hey, and by the way, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I welcome your comments in the section below. Now, DoorDash says that it is offering drivers, if they complete orders and the total mileage exceeds $100, $5. They're guaranteed to get $5. If a driver completes orders throughout the DoorDash week and the mileage exceeds 175 miles, drivers are guaranteed to get $10. And then if drivers complete orders and their mileage, and this is all according to the DoorDash app as well. According to the DoorDash app, if the mileage exceeds 225 miles, the driver is guaranteed or is eligible to get $15. And this will be payable next week. Now, this program went into effect effectively Monday, March 14th. So this extra money we should see next week, more than likely March 21st, March 22nd. Now, that sounds fine, I guess. But, and for someone like me, like I'm a numbers person, and so I kind of look a little further. Now, I mentioned these other numbers, 25.4, $1.27, $1.45, $1.69. And I was wondering, where did DoorDash get these numbers from? And so I got to looking around, and the 25.4, I kind of figured that was based on some national average, and that's exactly what it is. The source is either the Environmental Protection Agency or the Department of Energy or Department of Transportation. One of those federal agencies, that's where DoorDash gets the number of average mileage, fuel mileage for vehicles in the United States is at 25.4 miles to a gallon. Keep that in mind now. So now, you ask, where does $1.27 comes from when DoorDash talks of these savings per gallon? You should see savings per gallon, or the impact per gallon is $1.27, $1.45, or $1.69. Okay? If you divide 100 into $5, you get 5.05 or 5 cents. Okay? Now, you multiply 5 times 25.4 and you get $1.27. That is supposedly the impact per gallon. If you divide if you divide 175 into 10, you get 5.71. You multiply 5.71 times 25.4 and you get $1.45. The last number, if you divide 225 into 15, you get 0.666, or you may say 667. Let's do 667. Now, you multiply that by 25.4 and you get $1.69. That is how DoorDash came up with these numbers to say how it impacts you per gallon. I don't know if it really impacts me that much per gallon. All I'm really interested in is the $15, because I know I do enough deliveries in a week for DoorDash in which I should qualify for $15. That's all I'm concerned about. Now, there was another thing in the email that DoorDash sent. It said that drivers were to sign up for the direct card, the DoorDash direct card, then you will immediately qualify for 10% cash back for gas purchases or for eligible gas purchases. Now that's a significant number because a lot of credit cards, via your gas card, or just what other type of card program, you typically see maybe 3 to 5% cash back. And so 10% is significant. Now, for someone like myself, as I've shared, I'm putting now, whenever I go to the gas station, $55 into my tank. That's what I put into my tank. However many gallons it gets me, that's what I'm putting in. Typically, it's about 13 to 14 gallons. So 10% cash back 10% cash back. That should be, and I do that 3 times a week. Most weeks is 3 times a week. So 55 times 3, $165. 10% cash back, that's $16.50. Now you add that $16.50 to $15, that's $31.50. That is significant. Now, UberEats also implemented its program today. It started today, in which customers will be surcharged 55 cents for rideshare rides or 45 cents for deliveries. That's either on UberEats or Corner Shop. And on the rideshare platform, again, 55 cents. Now, we should see that money next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, March 21st, March 22nd. Now, that's an additional amount that we should see, or the impact should be an additional amount. Now, I mentioned in a recent segment of the Gig Geezer that to that point, I completed, according to the app, 18 Uber Eats deliveries. So if you multiply 45 cents times 18, that's $8.10. Well, going back, it appears that I average somewhere around 30 to 35 deliveries a week for Uber Eats. Now, if I use those numbers 30 to 35, we're talking supposedly an impact of somewhere between $13.50 to $15.75. But I've already completed a couple of Uber Eats orders today, and when I went back into the app and looked at the breakdown for Uber Eats orders, I didn't see anything about a surcharge for customers. All I saw was base, promotion, tip. That's all I saw. So maybe it's all in the base. I don't know. Yeah, base, right. But anyway, maybe it's all in that base fare. But I hadn't seen anything different. Or at least I don't feel that I've seen anything different. So now we talk about GrubHub. Well, GrubHub says that it's going to do certain things as well. It's going to increase the mileage that it pays per delivery. That turned out to be 1 cent a mile. Then it also said it's going to be offering more mission opportunities. Well, I hadn't seen many mission opportunities, but I did catch a mission Monday or earlier this week. So I did get additional $3 on the order. I believe it was Monday. It may have been yesterday, Tuesday. But whatever it is, $3. Yeah. Whatever. But then I also mentioned that GrubHub is supposed to come out with an additional amount of money. We don't know what that was based on, but we kind of figured that was based on miles that we'd already driven according to the app during the previous week. Well, I saw that amount yesterday. And apparently I did 102 miles for GrubHub, and I got $1.02 extra. So altogether, the impact with GrubHub's assistant is $1.90, at least from last week. Now, is it a shell game? Is it a pittance? Is it just PR? I guess it all depends on the volume of deliveries that you do for each app. Because if you were to do 100 deliveries in a week for UberEats, for example, and that 45 cent increase, or that 45 cent surcharge is applied, then you may see an impact of $45. That could be very significant. DoorDash, it appears that you're going to max out. It also going to depends on if you participate in a direct card in that DoorDash direct card program. But it appears that you're going to max out at around probably anywhere between $30 and $35. GrubHub, they could keep their program, in my opinion. Now, I come to realize that instead of me just bashing these programs or showing or showing where these programs fall short, mathematically speaking, what is probably most practical is to say use whatever you can, whatever resource you can to get some money back into your pocket, do it. Because that means that although I'm not in that DoorDash direct program yet, but if I were to participate in it, I'm probably looking at $31. If I use the numbers that UberEats are telling me with that 45 cent surcharge, we're talking probably about in the $14 range. Now you're talking $45. Forget GrubHub, but then there's the other apps. There's the other apps like Get Upside and then Gas Buddy. Well, if I use those as well, I may be able to squeeze another $5 to $10 out. So then, if I put all those together, now we're looking at actually a tank of gas that I could actually save if I work these programs correctly. And that's what it's all about. Using things to your advantage, maximizing things to your advantage. Just like we're out here to try to maximize our hustle, we need to maximize however way we can to get money back into our pockets. So with that, that's another segment of the Gig Geezer. I'm Midwood Lane, and as always, may your hustle continue. Thank you for checking out this segment of the Gig Geezer. If you reach this point, it means that you've checked it out in its entirety, and it's very much appreciated, and it tells YouTube that you're very much engaged in my content. Hey, if you'd like to get in contact with me or pass on some other useful information, I can be reached at giggeezer3.5@gmail.com, or you can check me out on Twitter at giggeezer.